Mama Kwaba POG Media. So share this one say any day you can obit me hit on the notification bell. Now subscribe to the channel. Make sure say go hit on the notification. Tell them you can or leave you a nice comment based on topic and I can want someone. But that's why it's a mommy. Now as a political story say training make you big headlines. And I be a sumo ewo hasi. Na enra yante aksem de and say a MP4 a just constituency a honorable John Kuma etimi twenani ehwe banya eno enya asem koto akra atigana man edwusuman asante man nyina nso no na ye fasa kunya yiso na POG Media adwumayefo nyina yama MPP yama yekuni yako sanso de ma busuan so ade tese ato mani nso yako na bejafo transe a me no kasei oboye mpinse mu efa ye ede owurei eko asamado semre ebobo roma so ye hwe nsempoti omu eka efa honorable John Kuma ne sudden demise hu cheno so am say say POG Media
huge loss to the MPP and especially also to the youth of the party because John represents the youth. And John is the future, he is amongst the future of this party. For us to proceed without him, it is painful. It's a huge loss to the party, a huge loss to government. But then again, as a person of faith, the Lord gives and the Lord takes.
Indeed. And we want to say thank you very much for your time. Honorable Fuseni is former Member of Parliament for the Okankwe North constituency on the ticket of the NPP. Worked quite closely with now the late John Kuma in many ways. And we're still going to be speaking to a lot more of these persons who closely worked with John Kuma, whom the news has been confirmed now that he is indeed passed on. And it's one that has hit many people in different ways. And my colleague and political affairs correspondent, Duke Mensah-Opoku, is here with me. Duke, you reported from Parliament at the point, and you still do. And I'm sure that a number of times you've crossed the path of John Kuma as well. Now, tell me, the encounters that you had with him, the kind of person that you would describe John Kuma to be.
I'd say a very amiable character, very humane person. Proper human being by all standards. What I mean by that is, he's someone that you can strike a conversation with. Anytime I met him, I would just say, "Don't aim and hope," and then he would say, "Aim and fire." It's one of his mantras. He would always write that if you want something, go for it. So don't throw and hope, aim and fire. If you say don't throw and hope, he will say aim and fire. And then you have whatever, if it's information you needed from him and he had it readily, he would give it to you. If not, you say, "My brother, let me make a few calls." And he would always, one of the politicians who would always return your call, whenever he sees it, even if he doesn't pick it on fair, he'll return your call. So a very nice character, a very impactful leader, I would say. The work that he did at the NEIP, introducing the presidential pitch, for instance, and which has birthed some of the very fast growing local entrepreneurs and companies in the country. For instance, we can talk about Chicken Man. He's one of the products of what he did at NEIP. So he's someone, and at his young age, you'd look at his CV and you would wonder. But he's been quite political for a very long time. He contested for Nook's elections to be Nook's president with Dr. Omani Bawumia of the NDC at the time. He contested, but he did not get the support of the SRC at Legon at the time. It went to Dr. Omani Bawumia, and Dr. Omani Bawumia beat him in the Nook's election. He did not give up, went on from his economics degree to study law, became a lawyer, master's, PhD, and so he's a young person who's really gone through the ropes, especially when it comes to the New Patriotic Party, burst onto the scene with Young Patriots. If you remember that group, they're very vibrant. Used to be one of the key spokespersons for Alan Chamating, one of the young voices behind Alan Chamating then, before he made the switch to the the camp of the establishment, if you would like. So he's someone who's gone through the paces and has gone through the ranks in the New Patriotic Party, if you'd like, even though at a very, very young age. So it didn't come as a surprise to many when he decided to transition from, when President Akuffo became president of the country, sent him to NEIP, which, to the best of his ability, transformed the place, one of the respected state entities for our state house, then decided to move on into Parliament, and at the very instance he found his feet on the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee as a lawyer himself, and then working his way when there was a change, the second term of President Akuffo Addo, he became also the Deputy Finance Minister when they needed some change, or they needed someone from the Ashanti region to become the Deputy Finance Minister, because Kukwati was exiting to become the Chairman of the Finance Committee. Very, very, progressive young man, very, very astute politician, and for very importantly, a very, very quality human being, if you'd like. And he's a very big loss to the future of politics in this country, if you.
And even considering that his name came up at a point as one of the running mate considerations for Dr. Bawumia, that should obviously give you an indication of the kind of person we're talking about. Let's go on to the telephone now. The Honorable Andy Apiakobi is Member of Parliament for the Asante North constituency on the ticket of the NPP, one who also worked quite closely with now the late John Kuma. It becomes quite difficult when you have to now be talking about the late. When just a couple of months ago, this was a person we're interviewing here on TV3. The Honorable Andy Apiakobi, can you hear me? Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Now, I'm sure you've also learnt of the passing of John Kuma, your colleague, Member of Parliament, Deputy Finance Minister. How did you receive this news?
It's very difficult. We are very sad there, and as you know, Parliament has been again, because the wave of sadness that has driven the whole house is unimaginable. John is such a fantastic human being. His senior skills and avoid very, very unassuming and very effective. He's loved by everybody. And this is really all of us to fight. And I can tell you that you won't call anybody a really good story in this life. And this actually, it's a very terrible day for us. And we are also, it's a very sad day.
I see. Now, you had quite some working relationship with him, encounters as members of Parliament over the period. How would you describe the man that the nation has lost now, John Kuma?
Very, very compassionate, very affable, very resourceful, very, very kind. And this is the man who makes things happen when you least expect him to do. He's very effective in communication, and his human skills are very unparalleled. We have lost a friend, a colleague, and master brain, and somebody with full potential for the future. We've lost this person who was one for the future. And it's not only me or members of Parliament, but the whole nation, because we had such tremendous potential that one would have thought that the future was very great for him. Even in parliamentary debate, he was so eloquent and always to a point, and very diplomatic in his submission. We have really lost a great parliamentarian. The ministry, he did most of the work for his then minister as a person at the front of the ministry. So, in all, it is Ghana that has lost a son that will be difficult to replace.
Now, he is a loss to the nation, obviously, as a deputy finance minister, but it's close to home when you talk about for you as members of the NPP, how much of an impact will this loss have, especially in the region and then also for the party?
Well, John, I'm not in the practice of the law. As you know, John was a lawyer, and I met him in the two cases that we did together. Particularly one that I remember was the political case that he represented one political party and I was the other. And he was such an affable person, such a sweet guy that even on the opposite side, they enjoyed each other. In the party, you know that it's driven through the youth wing to the constituency and now as member of parliament and the minister of state. The state, as we say, has got some people progress. And it is a party that has lost this gentleman who everybody thought was somebody for the future. It's a big loss to us, and I'm sure I can tell you nobody can raise his head in parliament right now. It is a very difficult situation for us. And we only pray that God will give him the grace of a good faith to rest. Indeed, our condolences go to the family, the immediate family, and the extended family, to NPP and generally to the political class and to Ghana as a whole. Indeed, this is a great loss to us.
I thank you so much for joining us, and condolences to you as well as a member of the NPP and a member of parliament who served with him and is still serving.
And John was sitting right behind him.
He was seated right behind you?
Right behind me in parliament. He required some notes and he required some valuables also. John, God should save his soul.
Indeed. And this pain is felt in many ways. I thank you so much, and condolences to you.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's the Member of Parliament for the Asante North constituency, Andy Apiakobi, there. And also singing the same chorus that many we've been speaking to here on TV3, also live on 3FM 92.7, have been saying about the man behind me. Until this few minutes ago, we got this confirmation of his passing, Dr. John Kuma, Dr. John Ampontia Kuma, born August 4, 1978, as we indicated earlier, 45 years of age, in a Joshua Dahon in the Ashanti region, attended Opokuwari School, gained his Bachelor of Arts in Economics with Philosophy from the University of Ghana, Legon, and proceeded in 2009 to the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration for his MBA in Finance, and an LLB from the University of Ghana, and a professional law degree from the Ghana School of Law. His postgraduate diploma in applied business research from the Nobel International Business School in 2019. He would eventually be called to the bar sometime in 2013. We'll get there. Deputy Minister of Finance since 2021. Prior to this position, he was Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana, that's the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEIP, and also a Member of Parliament for the Ajuso constituency since 2021. He's been the Vice Chair of the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, a very critical committee, as Duke was talking about earlier, in this 8th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. At such a young age, obviously, that should tell you that he brought a lot to bear in the workings of Parliament, and that's why he was even considered for this particular position by the party, for that matter. And so his impact and also the work that he's done over the period is one that he has a lot of wings that has been spread in many areas, and that's the man that we're talking about now, Dr. John Kuma, the late. We're still getting some information trickling in thick and fast as to exactly what happened, and you know, the question that remains unanswered is the cause of death, and that's one that we are not going to be in a rush to put out at this point, because of the fluidity of the situation. We would tarry a little while on that and do all the checks and leave it to the family, at least at such a time, to also mourn with them, you know, as a family. This is a lot to the nation, not just the NPP as a political party, is it not?
Yeah, and what a day for this to happen is a school, that's Opokuwari School, where I happened to be the senior prefect in 96, 97, done a lot even in terms of projects for the school. This afternoon is having its Burgess Kalinikos Addo lectures, the annual lectures by the alumni of Okwari School. Is this afternoon to be addressed by his namesake, Professor Patrick Kuma, Dr. Patrick Kuma Boaji. And this is the day that one of the illustrious sons of the school is exiting the world, Dr. John Kuma. So if he was around, he would have attended that program. But it's a big loss, not to just Okwari School, but to the entire country.
Are you an old student of that school?
I have a school number, so yeah. And so it's a big loss.
Just to put it on record, that the man we're talking about.
I have a school number. I'm BK28, so.
Duke Mensa Opoku is an old student.
There's a lot of sadness, you know, about in relation to what has transpired today. Yeah, it's sad. It's a very sad thing.
Let's cross over to the Ashanti region now, and this is the home region of the constituency of John Kuma, his school as well, which you are an old student of. William Evansinkum is our Northern Bureau Chief and our lead Ashanti regional correspondent. He's joining us from specifically the constituency. William, appreciate you as always. Now, I know you've been talking to some of the people there after the news of the passing of Dr. John Kuma hit all of us. So what's been the reaction so far?
Well, so Alfred, I'm currently in the house or the residence of Dr. John Kuma. This morning, about last night he slept here. So this morning that his health condition was deteriorating, he was put in an ambulance in this particular residence and then was transported to the hospital. Few minutes after he arrived at the hospital, there was another call to.
Mom say any day the Kenya will be my notification bell. Now, Mamma was saying, say, also squabbling for a sign a day a moment. Now, the woman say, I see a political stories, a yana trendy, Yason Sonia Yibi, now ye be Abesum, and now a young Cassifidi, so bashing us woman. Say, a young Norwegian Kuma and Ra who train if you're buying minority and a majority, all parliaments. And now, Muguswa, or more air chance, the one almost be any CBA F1. Sansona Busiano, so Abacasa, so a Timmy actual my brain. Still, you go so a yeading come and same rate a ballroom must say yet now, same with the echo. Shanswam say, I say a POG Media. Now, Yansan Mabusian phone, so Yakubi.
This particular house that they needed some 5,000 because there was an emergency. It wasn't a straightforward communication to the family. It was after that 5,000 Ghana cedis were delivered to them that the unforgettable news was actually brought to them that the former deputy finance minister is no more. I can tell you that it is a hard pill for the family here because they least expected that such a news will hit them, and it's more like a very hard pill for them to swallow at the moment. Uncontrollable tears. But when I got here, I mean, this family is one family that I'm very close with. The wailing and all of that. I mean, seeing you alone because of the fact that I'm very close to them, it just kind of even intensified the whole, mood as far as the current situation here is concerned. So it is a hard pill for the family. Let me see if I will get at least his aide to speak to us, Dominic, who hasn't been of himself since the news broke. Dominic was somebody who was very, very close to Dr. John Kuma, his aide, his confidant, and all of that. Dominic, this is a hard pill. I know it is a hard pill. But I know you also muster some courage and speak to us. Dominic, it is a hard pill, I know.
It was... I can't talk.
Well, so, Alfred, that is the situation here. I mean, everybody is crying. Everybody is crying. Men are crying. They simply cannot contain the situation. Let me see if I can engage the party chairman. Chairman, I know you cannot control yourself. All right. Well, absolutely. So Alfred, I mean, it is very normal. The scene here is very normal. Uncontrollably, people are wailing, and they're just recalling the very moment that they've shared with the former Deputy Finance Minister. So, Alfred, that is the situation here. Confirmed. Dr. John Kuma, the Deputy Finance Minister, is no more.
Now, William, it's very important information that you're just putting out there now, that based on the information you have received from some sources close to the family, you are at his residence now, and they are saying that as he spent the night there last night, this happened at dawn?
Last night he was here. I mean, this is his residence. He was here, and his health condition deteriorated at dawn. They needed to put him on an ambulance just to rush him to the hospital, hoping that the man will come back. But that was never to be.
I see. Now, I see a lot of movement behind you. Tell me,
yes.
You've been to the at least the family, you interacted with them. Tell me, what have they been saying to you, and what's the mood inside the house where you've been?
Two things I can pick from here, Martin. Anger. But, I mean, certain allegations are being bandied around that we wouldn't want to go into it because it is early days yet. Maybe we would want to wait for the autopsy report, and then probably we can speak to the issue. So we wouldn't want to go there. But, well, some smell foul play. Some smell fishy, something fishy. But as I said, Martin, we cannot go into some of the things that they've been saying here. We'll just leave that to a future, so we'll be able to at least speak to official statements. But I can tell you that beyond the anger, like I said, some are reminiscing the moments when the man was alive. I mean, John Kuma was a man for the ordinary. If I say ordinary, maybe you would want to use the word poor, because there are many lives that he has changed as far as a Sh0ckǐnǧ constituency is concerned. There are many projects that he was embarking as far as his constituency was concerned. And these are some of the things that are beginning to visualize in the minds of the people the reason behind the uncontrollable, cries here. Now, a number of people are still coming in because the news is very fresh. So people are even in doubt. I quite remember when I was on my way here, I received a number of calls, some from ministers, some from MPs, wanting to know whether indeed the news, was true. So it is still fresh. People are still in doubt. Until you come here, then you know that indeed a Deputy Finance Minister, Dr. John Kuma, is dead.
Now, the sentiments you're expressing there, they are not alone in this, not just in the Ashanti region. I can tell you that all across the country, and indeed even beyond, we're also getting calls from here, messages, people asking if it is indeed the case, if it is true, especially because there was no news of his ill health until this moment, that people are getting to know of the snippets of information about his health condition prior to this news of his passing. Now, you talk about that part of the story which we don't want to get into right now. The focus is on the state that the family finds itself in and the loss that we're talking about. With the people who are coming there, I assume that these are party executives and constituents who are also coming in to confirm this. I see a woman behind you wailing.
Well, absolutely. She's one of the constituents. And so they are coming, one after the other. So for the constituency, almost everybody is here. The constituency officer in charge of research and election, he was his personal aide, Dominic. He couldn't speak to us a few minutes ago when he had wanted to engage him. Then, of course, we also have the constituency chairman, who also tried speaking to him, but said, we just need to hold on for a while, because he also would have to, just get in and ensure that at least he's able to bring certain situations under control. I'm talking about those who are willing and all of that. I mean, a number of the constituency executives are here. For the regional executives, I'm yet to cite one, but my understanding is that, as I said earlier, because the news is still fresh, now people are still in that doubting arena. I'm pretty sure that they're still trying to make several calls just to get a confirmation of what has happened. And I'm sure, I'm pretty sure that watching TV3 now they will be able to confirm that indeed this thing has happened. And I'm sure they should be making their way to the house of John Kuma. So a book of condolence was just opened here. I saw his picture also over there, but it has been removed. Maybe they are just relocating it. I just want to believe that. But at least something that will indicate to you that indeed the man is gone. It is what we see here in his official residence.
And you say, just for the benefit of those who are just joining us here on TV3, also live on 3FM 92.7, we're coming to you live. My colleague William Sh0ckǐnǧ is at the residence of the late Member of Parliament for the Sh0ckǐnǧ constituency, Deputy Finance Minister, Dr. John Kuma. That's where he is right now, live from the residence of John Kuma in the Ashanti region, and confirming that indeed it is the case that he has passed on, and the reactions as we're seeing so far behind him, so many of the constituency executives of the party trooping to his place now. The circumstances leading, or the last moments leading to his passing is what, William, you've been giving us some exclusive information that this indeed happened at dawn. He spent the night in the house behind you, correct? And this happened
Absolutely.
at dawn. Now, if you could just recount to us again, what really happened at dawn, leading to the ambulance being called in and he getting to the hospital, and this 5,000 CDs you talk about. Just recount that for us again.
All right, so at dawn, one of his boys heard him call him, and he rushed to the bedroom, and seeing his condition, he called for an ambulance. When John Kuma stepped out, I understand that there were other people around, and John Kuma was asking, why are so many people around? But they didn't mind him. They just put him on the ambulance, and then quickly he was rushed to the hospital. A few minutes later, a call came back to the house asking that 5,000 Ghana cedis be sent to the hospital. Around that time, even though the hospital knew that the man was gone, but they needed to, communicate rightly, as tradition demands. So it was later that it was communicated to the family that the man has died.
Very, very sad situation there. And that's one that we're all also getting a lot more reactions. And the majority chief whip has also just communicated his reaction about the passing of John Kuma as well. And we're monitoring what's happening in Parliament. We'll be connecting with our chief parliamentary correspondent shortly on this. But William, now before I let you go as well, now beyond the house, the residence where you are, on your way, you monitored some of the reactions as well. Tell me what's the mood in the J0ckǐnǧ and in Kumasi right now after this news came public?
Sobin. For those who have heard the news, not everybody has heard the news, but those who have heard the news, they are also kind of grieving, if I should put it that way. It's a bitter pill for them because the man John Kuma, everybody knows John Kuma in the Ashanti region, very kind-hearted, very down-to-earth and all of that. Maybe he may be very vociferous in the plenary or in Parliament, but it's somebody who's very calm in nature and very kind-hearted. John Kuma is always want to help whenever there is the need. I quite remember sometime last year, Afiakobi Senior High School, this is a girls' school, and they had been able to build an aircraft. John Kuma went there, even though it wasn't his constituency, that was in the Akroma constituency. He went there, and I went with him, personally donated 100,000 Ghana cedis to the girls. A number of charity work that he has been embarked on and all of that. So I am not surprised. Now I see more people coming in. More people are coming in, and then they are sobbing. More people are coming in. So it tells you, look at the caliber of people who are coming in. The old, the young, and they are all crying. It tells you that indeed they have really missed. They have really lost. They have really lost a man. They have really lost a man, and I'm pretty sure that is the kind of scene we are going to have. I mean, in the course of the day. Alfred, it's a really great loss to the Sh0ckǐnǧ constituency, and if my political history serves me right, this will be the second time such an incident befallen the ruling New Patriotic Party, because in 2008, Bawumia also lost his life. That was in an election year. He was a substantive minister, and now we have a deputy minister also losing his life from the camp of the MPP in an election year. So I'm sure that people are just not crying or wailing, but they are trying to connect history.
And indeed, that history comes in beckoning at a time like this. And I see one person behind you. If you can have a quick conversation with just a few of them who can hold themselves together for me. Yes.
All right. So let me see. Let me try and then speak to the guy who took John to the hospital. Let me see if he can speak to us, at least to share with us some detail. But let me speak to one of the executives here, one of the constituency executives here, at least what he can share with us as far as John's demise is concerned. I mean, this one person was very, very close to his one of his aides, very, very close to John. Bro, I'm pretty sure this, of course, indeed, is a hard pill for you. But share with us, how did it happen?
I cannot explain. He came last Tuesday for 6 March. Unfortunately, yesterday, he could not come to the grounds. So we came here to see him. And when we came, he was asleep. And today, he was supposed to go to Germany to continue medical checkup. So this morning, we brought ambulance to take him to Accra because he cannot stand. So he could not board the plane. And on his way to Accra, we heard he passed on in Sawem. Suhum, yes. He was with his wife and driver and the security. So it's very terrible news. We don't know how to contain this, because John we know is best MP ever happened to Joshua. His best MP ever happened to Joshua. It's sad that ever since he won the primaries since 2020, he did not get rest.
If you say he did not get rest, what do you mean?
Because we went to contests and he won. And those other side did not recognize him a day. Such as that, when he was sick, he need to travel because people are saying somebody is going independent. Okay. And so he need to travel to here to see.
All right. Okay. So, So Alfred, some allegations. So maybe we just have to. All right. So, but Alfred, it's a really hard pill for them because there are a number of allegations that are coming up, and I'm pretty sure we will have to be very circumspect in some of the things that I've been saying because of the loss and all of that. But I also know that sometime last year, December, talking about the Christmas period, he was not here. He spent his entire Christmas on a sick bed. That I can also confirm to you. So we thought that things were going to get better, only for this particular predicament to befall the family, and then of course the party MPP, and of course this constituency, the Sh0ckǐnǧ constituency. So, Alfred, that is the situation here.
Well, I don't know, and you exercising that restraint, rightly so, getting the people not to go beyond boundaries. But we really do appreciate this detail, and as always, the great work that you do there, and bringing us up to speed with what's happening at the residence of the late Member of Parliament for the Sh0ckǐnǧ constituency a Deputy Finance Minister, Dr. John Kuma. And if you're just joining us here on TV3, also live on 3FM 92.7, we are live from the residence of the late Dr. John Kuma and many people, the constituents, trooping to the place, wailing. And what, I see a little boy beside you, William. Now, oh yes.
Well, I'm pretty sure he came with one of the constituents. So yeah, that is it. But but you see, Alfred, it is getting more and more emotional. You can even see a man on the floor wailing uncontrollably. It's a hard pill, Alfred. It's a hard pill. And you can hear them for meaning a great helper, and exactly what he's saying. For a great helper, because I know that he's been supporting a lot of people here in terms of giving them startups for their businesses, in terms of paying fees, in terms of granting scholarships, in terms of personal taking people out. I mean, that is personal. Maybe let me put it this way: relative and what have you.
In summer, also, the channel you saw. Channel himself first time when you have money, so with me leave your comment. I brought you quick. Now, what me subscribe to the channel. Say the be channel, no bit me fan to my preferred and STM biano. Let me do a change saying so to me about someone. Channel some say has a POG Media. Honorable John Kuma, you quit here. Nadi meet me a can say I'm for currency. The body and on the Addo or Tunis after the phrase, maybe one ever saying a share in you. Akroma.